Hi friends, it's Anne here, and today's video is another round of Shop My Stash for 2023. We are now on week 12, and I can't really do, do I do this? Is this 12 or is that 3? We're not going to use hand signals anymore for counting the weeks. So, this past week covered Easter weekend, so if you celebrate Easter, I hope you had some good celebrations. It's an interesting holiday in the Christian religion because it's kind of negative, but kind of positive. You have the whole Christ died piece and then Christ risen piece. It's a little confusing. Anyway, I am not a religious person. I mentioned this before, I think, on my channel, that I was raised Catholic, but I'm not a practicing Catholic, so I do understand the holiday from a religious aspect, but I am not a practicing Catholic. If you had some time off, I hope you enjoyed some time off with family and friends. I was one of the lucky people that had both Friday and Monday off, and it just never feels like it's long enough. Everyone at work today was everyone was just a little bit later than usual, and everyone was just moving a little bit slower than usual, including myself. I don't know what it is about having time off. It makes it extra hard to get back into the groove of work. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about makeup. So, speaking of being the long weekend, I did not wear makeup for 3 days this past week. However, I did get to use all of these items. I did make sure I used my Shop My Stash. Just means that, from a Project Pan perspective, I didn't get a whole lot done this week. Not a whole lot to update on this, except for 2 things. The first thing being the ColourPop, let's not lose that, the ColourPop liner. This is the Feather Effects liner. I'm going to keep it for now, but this is something that I'm contemplating getting rid of. I just don't think pen things for brows are my jam, and I just need to accept it. Especially the color of that one is just a little warm for my liking. The other thing is this. I talked about decluttering this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an attempt to put some of this product and mix it with some moisturizer and use it in the summertime. It will probably go horribly bad, and I will dislike it as much as I dislike it as much as I dislike the, what do you call it, ColourPop, well, it's not the ColourPop, whatever their skin, Soul Body oil with the glitter in it. I don't really like that either. I don't really like, but I don't know. This is a different color of glitter. I'm going to give it a go. If I like it, then I will use this up that way. If I don't like it, I'll just declutter the rest of this. Yeah. Not ready to let it go. I have such a hard time letting things go. Anybody else as bad as me for that? It's really hard for me to let something go that's there's so much product left in this, and it's too old for me to give to somebody else. I don't really like it as an eyeshadow. It's not really, you can't really press it. Once it's a loose product like this, they don't press very well. And I don't love it really as a highlight, like a face highlight. Dilemma. Anyway, everything else was fine here. Let's get into this week's picks. Alright, here we are on the top shelf where things are starting to look a little bare in these drawers. Not quite fully bare yet, but they're looking pretty good. Let's kind of keep working on this top drawer. I'm going to pull this guy. This is the Almay, maybe in focus. Really, really bright. Let's fix that a little. There we go. Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadow in the shade Astro Girl. It's kind of more of a topper for me than, it looks better over other shadows. There's not a whole lot of color to this. I'm going to do a swatch for you so you can see what I mean. So there it is on my hand there, but you can kind of see it's a bit transparent. Doesn't have a whole lot of color to it. It can be a little bit patchy on its own. I kind of prefer to just use this either as a base or as a topper. Generally as a topper. I could use this probably as a face highlight too. I've not tried that. It's okay. I don't love it. I don't like it enough to buy more of these, but I will use the one that I have. So that is our single shadow. Okay, here we are in the top drawer, and we've already gone through all the primers once already, but we're going to keep using them. I'm going to use this guy. This is, oh, why won't you focus? There we are. This is the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. It's just, I just hit the mic. Just kind of looks like this. Just white, little white dot. Doesn't really look like anything when you spread it on. It's a nice primer, like it feels nice. It's kind of like a combo of a pore filling and a smoothing one. It's kind of like a happy in-betweener. Does it do a whole lot? Maybe not, but it feels nice. Powder, I only have one powder left that I can use right now. The other one I've already talked about last week that's too dark for me. And this one's a little different. This one is, where is the label on this one? There we are. It's on this side. The Marcelle Luminous Translucent Powder. It is a hair dark for me, but it's got a little bit of shine to it. Let's see if I can swatch it. So I have to kind of go, you can kind of see it on my finger there, how it's a little bit dark. It's not like shiny, but it's got a little bit of, like, it's not matte either. Yeah, once I blend it out, you can't even really see it. But it does have like a little bit of, I don't know, just a little something that makes it not super matte, but it's not super shiny either. But you can kind of see even like there when I tilt my hand, it's a little dark. So we're going to try it, see how it goes. I might be very careful with it because we're kind of at the point now. This is kind of a problem, like everything here, everything's too dark for me right now. So let's pick this guy. This is the NYX Dark Circle Corrector. It's kind of like Becca brightening thing, kind of like the Boing one that I used last week. This one is a different texture. It's a little stiffer, just feels a little different. I just put it on top of the primer a little bit. You can kind of see it still has that bit of a peachy corrector type property, but yeah, it's not quite as whipped as the Benefit Boing one, and from what I've seen from other people, I feel like the Becca one is a little bit more creamy. This one's a bit of a stiffer texture to it. So like this will take a really long time to go through because of the texture of it. It's very thin but stiffer than the other, like even like this. It's not even the same texture as this, the NARS Soft Matte. Let's go with this foundation. I'm gonna have to mix this with my NYX foundation lightener that's in white. I was watching Jessica Baron's video, and I think I think it was an older video, but I just watched it fairly recently. I have this in the shade Light. She had it in the shade Fair. So I think maybe if I repurchase this, I would repurchase it in the shade Fair, if I would even bother repurchasing it. I'm not even sure I would bother repurchasing this, but just to put that out there, I wouldn't consider myself fair. I'm definitely more in the light range, but this just runs so dark and it oxidizes as well. So level up, level up, I would suggest. I don't think the fair would be too light for most people that are in the light range. So there's that. And that's everything in that drawer, I think. This is like pretty crazy that this is empty, or there's just the one left. And this is kind of going to be a theme for this week because there's a couple of other categories that are going to be wrapping up as well. So speaking of categories that are wrapping up, I have one eyebrow product left, and this is the Winky Luxe eyebrow product. If you've watched my channel, this is like the never-ending eyebrow product. I've had it in multiple project pans. It is going down. Like, it is going down. That's how much is left, which is not a whole lot. I don't think I'm super in focus, but you get the gist. That's how much is left. So we have no more eyebrow products left. I also broke this one, so I kind of have to like be careful with it. And I only have one mascara left. I do have 3 mascaras here, but I'm not going to open these just yet. So one open mascara left. This is the Maybelline Snapscara, and this is in like a blue shade, so this will be interesting to play with this week. Kind of why I left it. I like to kind of use this one over top, like put black on and then put a little bit of this on, because I wanted like a blue mascara, but I wanted it to be like a navy blue. And this isn't quite, this is more like a royal blue. It's a little bit lighter than what I wanted. But I haven't used this in like a really long time. Technically, I should probably get rid of it. This is one of those things that I should declutter by the end of this year and replace with a new colored mascara if I get a new colored mascara. Eyeliner. Again, we've got to pick some black eyeliners because I've got a lot. So let's go with this one. This is a liquid eyeliner. I've kind of held off putting this one in the mix because this is a liquid eyeliner, but it is not waterproof, and it definitely will smudge and run. I have to be really, really careful with it. You can see my shadow there. Hello. I do like this, like, oh no, this is the brown one. So this is the waterproof one, I think. Oh, no, the black one is the waterproof one. The brown one is not. So I've got a brown one here. But I do recall that this one will smudge. The one that's not waterproof smudges on me. I like the color of this, and I do like the brush, but I don't like the fact that this one will smudge on me if I am not careful. But I do like it. It's like a nice dark brown. You can see there. It's a nice good brown. And I said we're going to pick a black, so let's pick a black. This is the Essence Extreme Lasting eye pencil in waterproof. This, I did a comparison with this and the Marc Jacobs one, and this one I like better than the Marc Jacobs one. It's a really, really good, really, really black, really, really good eyeliner. Stays put, not in focus. Sorry. I have to constantly kind of like click my mouse into the screen to get it to focus on my hand, but then I've got my hand in front of the camera, so it's really awkward. But yeah, my only downside of this is you have to sharpen it a lot. Like, I feel like I can fly through this, but I mean, it's super cheap. So compared to the Marc Jacobs, I think I did a comparison of how many of these I have to go through, and I definitely would not go through that many compared to the Marc Jacobs one. What doesn't exist anymore. They are not doing makeup, at least for now. So it's kind of neither here nor there. But just so you know, I did like that one better. And yeah, that's everything in this drawer. And our last drawer here, as you can see, things are so naked. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this video. If you're new here, I'm pulling items out of my Shop My Stash, like out of my collection, and when I pull it, it goes away into a box so that I don't pick it again, so I'm forced to pick something new each week. Otherwise, I kind of forget what I pick, and I tend to pick the same things over and over and over again for what I like. So, what highlight am I going to pick? I do have two highlights I talked about last week. Those are just loose highlights that I use for mixing, so I'm not selecting those. So we're going to go with this guy. This is the Pixie Hello Kitty highlight. It's the Sweet Hello Glowy powder in Sweet Glow. This was something I did not need to buy, but I bought anyway because it was on sale and it was cute. It's kind of more of a blush topper for me. I wonder how similar it is to Twinkle that's in the Benefit. I feel like the Twinkle has a bit of a yellow, there's a bit of a golden yellowy shift to Twinkle, whereas this is definitely pink shift, because it's right there on my hand, but I feel like it's not showing up very well. It's very, very light. It's very subtle. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better there on the top of my hand. It's pretty. It's like a nice, like I said, more of a blush topper, I feel like, than a highlight. And it's not for everyone. Definitely very pink. I have one, what do you call it, bronzer left. Now we're really dark now. Focus. Nude Sticks. Focus for the camera and focus for me. Nude Sticks Nudies Matte All Over Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. I've had this in a project pan last year. I don't love this. The color's okay. It's definitely very reddish. But the issue with this is you can just blend it away. I was hoping I was going to go through this faster. Like, it looks pretty good there. It looks really good. But then, as you can see, I can just, like, literally blend it away to nothing. Again, more of a summer bronzer for me than right now, but we're going to roll with it. Let's roll with this guy. And then blush. So I do have, how many here? Seven blushes left here. I have a lot of blushes. This is a problem we need to sort out. I probably should let go of a I just don't want to let go of any of them. I feel like of all the blushes I've gone through, I feel like the only one that I might let go of would be this one, because I don't really have any feelings towards it, but I like all the other ones that I don't want to let them go. So let's pick this guy. I've kind of left, you can see even just the color tone. These are all sort of warmer, peachier type ones. This one's probably the least out of what's left that's like that. This one is the Merit Blush in the shade Cheeky. No, Beverly Hills. I already used Cheeky. Let's do a swatch. I really like these blushes. I know not everybody likes them, but I quite like them. So yeah, Beverly Hills is a bit pink still, so it's probably one of the last remaining pinkish blushes I have. I feel like the Milano one might be a bit pinky. The Dallas one's definitely like more brown compared to the other ones. But yeah, there's our blush, bronzer, and highlight. Very reddy pinky. I think they all kind of go well together. So yeah, that is all of the picks. Let me just flip you around and we'll do a quick summary and I'll talk about the eyeshadow picks for the upcoming times, or at least what I'm not using for the upcoming times, because I'm going to put away the ones that I have been using. Alright, here we go with this week's picks. I'm looking forward to using most of this. Like I said, I feel like some of these things are maybe not quite in season for me, but rolling with it anyway, because that's what this project is all about. The eyeshadow palettes that I was using was the Huda Beauty Nude Light, the Sugar Pill Little Twin Stars, and the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. So those were the three I was using. I'm going to put these two away. I feel like I've used them quite a bit. I'm kind of done with them mentally. I like both of them. I think I'm going to keep this one out for a little bit longer because I haven't really used much out of this. I think I've only used this shade so far. And I'd like to play with the other shades a little bit more. And so far I've only pulled one other palette to play with. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, what do they call these? Luxury palette, color-coded eyeshadows. So it's the quad, and this one's in Pillow Talk. I have two of these. The quality of these, I would say they're not worth it for the price. If you're going to get one and you like this color story, I feel like this might be the only one that I would recommend. I think there's another one that's green that a lot of people like. I'm not a green eyeshadow person. But the other one I have it's called Dolce Vita, but I think the name changed. And yeah, I just think for the quality of these, it's not worth it. I did get this one from somebody off of Reddit a while ago, but yeah, I wouldn't have paid full price for this. And the other one I got in a, what do you call it, lucky bag. So, I mean, I'm glad I've tried them because I would have wanted to try them anyway. But after trying them, my advice is, I don't think I would bother buying them. I mean, I know some people like them. If you do like them and like maybe suggest which one you have or which ones you have that you really like, maybe put them down below. Again, like I said, this one I would maybe, if it's your jam and you want to spend the money, but again, I'd wait till it's on sale or something or buy it secondhand from somebody instead of paying full price, because I just, like I said, don't think it's worth it. So yeah, that is this week's Shop My Stash. If you like this video, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye!